Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Pam and I am a professional makeup artist turned beauty nurse, and I am just here to help you feel beautiful inside and out. So before we start this video, I just wanted to do a little disclaimer in that anything I'm talking about in terms of health in this video is just based on my experience as a nurse and as a beauty guru. If you do have any questions about these techniques, procedures, or products, definitely run them by your doctor. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. So the first kind of cocktail that I wanted to talk about that I think is amazing for detox is to actually take bentonite clay, and you're going to take apple cider vinegar. You're going to mix them together and turn them into a paste. What you're going to do is apply that to your underarms. So it's going to look something like this. And the reason why this is super important is because so much bacteria accumulates in the underarm, and bacteria accumulates everywhere, all over the skin. It's normal, it's a part of life, and not all bacteria is bad bacteria, but there is some that kind of just festers underneath the arms, and although we just briefly lift up our arms to give it a good scrub in the shower, we don't always get all of the bad stuff out. So every once in a while, just periodically, I like to kind of go in, create that little paste, and really lather this on the underarms, let it sit for a while. I give myself about 10 minutes, just as long as I can, kind of lay there with my arms up, and then rinse it off. I make sure I rinse it off in the shower so that the shower floor can catch any of the wet clay, but I just noticed that I feel like my underarms do like a nice little purge afterwards, and it just feels like I got a lot of toxins out. Your body does an amazing job of cleansing itself and purifying itself, but if I can do anything to kind of push that process along the way, I'm here for it. And also, it actually helps odor. So if you sweat quite a bit, if you notice that during moments of stress or hyperactivity that you can actually perspire quite a bit and it doesn't smell that great, it almost has like a sour smell to it. You're kind of attacking the bacteria from underneath versus just putting a deodorant on top of the skin. Okay, and so the last reason I use this product is because when I am PMSing and I just know that my hormones are just kind of climbing that mountain where I just feel super bloated and puffy, I actually get extremely tender lymph nodes. This is something that I've been researching for quite some time and I'm pretty passionate about because my lymph nodes in my underarms and my breast tissue swell up to the size of grapes. It's super uncomfortable. I mean, it almost looks like I'll have a little pocket here where I can just I'm PMSing now and I can just feel that I've got swelling there, and it's extremely uncomfortable. I notice that whenever I take a break from traditional deodorants, even my organic ones that don't have aluminum in them, and I use some of this, it actually decreases the tenderness and the lymph node swelling that I have. And I'm able to actually put my arms down without pain or without as much pain, and I'm actually able to kind of sleep on my chest without having so much swelling and discomfort. If you experience this kind of nodular swelling during your cycle or right before your cycle, comment below, let me know. I want to know who else is out there with me going through this kind of pain, but this is one of the options that kind of helps that pain go down. Okay, so speaking of lymph node health, lymph nodes basically, FYI, are just almost like a little interweb scattered throughout your body, and they're heavily concentrated in your underarms, your breast tissue, throughout your neck, and it's like your body's draining system. And so whenever you have a buildup of toxins in your body, those little nodes can swell up and actually become painful. So just a little basic, like not even super thorough rundown of what that is, but just so you know that that's kind of why your breasts hurt sometimes whenever you are hormonal. A dry brush. A dry brush is not a new thing to the beauty game. We are all super aware of how this works. If you are not, what you're going to do is go for a brush that has very coarse bristles like this, okay? And you're going to want to go for something with a handle or some type of strap that you can actually anchor on to your hand. And you basically want to go over your entire body with very light strokes, okay? So not so much pressure. We aren't really trying to scrape the skin. These bristles are pretty heavy duty, and so that does a lot of the exfoliation for you. The way you're going to use this brush is you're going to start from your toes and you're going to work your way up, okay? So you're going to draw the direction of blood towards your heart. There's a million different benefits of dry brushing. Some people say that it reduces cellulite, which I could see because it actually oxygenates the fat tissue that's closer to the surface of your skin by stimulating it. And so I could see how that would work, but I also think that that's not really the whole reason you should dry brush. I actually think dry brushing is incredible for taking off dead skin, kind of making you just feel like you're brand new again. And it's also really good for releasing endorphins. And so endorphins are that happy chemical in your brain that just make you feel really good, just much more content, much more at peace. And this is actually why they implement this technique at some spas. Dry brushing is incredible as well for lymph node health. So like I said, those little webbed, nodular, grape-like things in your underarms and your breast tissue can get really just built up and backed up with toxins and fluid, and it's actually heightened if you drink caffeine, which I do all the time, and alcohol or even fatty foods. This helps push that fluid through back into the body so that you aren't loaded up in your underarms and breast tissue. So anything that's going to help make my PMS breasts a little less painful, I am all about. I do want to note that as you do brush up towards the direction of your heart, you're going to do that on your extremities, but then once you get to your central area, you're going to go counterclockwise. And so yeah, once you do this, I get straight into the shower and I immediately start to rinse off, and then I pat myself down with almond oil. And so I want to lock in that moisture on that freshly exfoliated skin. So speaking of being in the shower, I came across these Reviving Peppermint shower tablets. So this is a brand that's pretty common in the essential oil situation. I see this at CVS and Amazon, and I of course ordered them on Amazon because it's just like the easiest route of getting them to me. And I really wanted a shower tablet. So this is something that you probably didn't know you needed, but let me just take 5 minutes to explain to you why you need it. So shower tablets are basically just little tablets that look like giant antacids, and they come in little packages like this, and you drop them in the shower, and it says to actually put it under directly like a stream of water, but don't do that. I put it at the tail end of my shower so that it actually has time to slowly dissipate and work throughout the shower. If you put it directly under a stream, I feel like it melts really quickly, and then it's like 5 minutes in, I'm like, where'd my tablet go? This actually gives it a little more longevity if you place it towards the back, not in a direct stream of water. But basically, it starts to release the oil into your shower. And so depending on the oil or the tablet that you use, you're gonna get a different effect. I swear by this peppermint one. Number one, I'm not a morning person. That's something I have to really work on. And so if I can put a peppermint tablet in the shower with the steam, the peppermint fragrance fills my entire shower, wakes me up, opens up my nasal passages, and then just really gives me that morning boost. Okay, so it makes me feel like I've just eaten a peppermint or drank peppermint tea. It opens up my sinuses as well. So I think this time of year we have so much sinus gunk just built up in our cavities that we really need to let out. That sitting there in your sinus cavity can actually make you super sick. Even if it's just allergies, that can actually turn into a cold. So it's really important that we're doing something to aerate our nasal passages properly. This, aside from making me feel more alert and awake, and also aside from making me feel like I'm at a spa, is incredible. So what I do is I open up one of these tablets, I drop them in the shower, and then while I'm in the shower and while I feel like the steam is in full effect, I do a technique that's actually ideal for sinus draining. So what I do is I take my fingers and I push my nose this way, and I take my thumb and right at my cheekbone I push it up, okay? And so I go, and that immediately starts to stimulate the nasal passages and release product. We're gonna call it gunk product, okay? So I'll do that on the other side as well, and I'll start to activate that, and through the steam and the peppermint, all of that drainage starts to come out, and that's exactly where I would want it to come out, is in the shower so I can wash it off immediately. That technique, that pushing of this at 10 and 2, so 10 and 2, and then pushing this completely horizontal, has been life-changing, okay? When you blow your nose, you put your face and your nose through so much trauma because you're really using force and air and pressure to like get all that crap out. But really, if you help facilitate that drainage, you don't have to use as much force. And so that leads to less sinus pressure headaches and less raw tissue around your nose. So I am all about that. So as we get into these colder months, you are going to start to see the black sweaters everywhere and black coats. And along with that, you are going to see dandruff on people's lapels. And as disgusting as that sounds, it's just a fact of life. I don't want you guys to be one of those people. So what I recommend is just to go through and grab a scalp exfoliator. So this feels like a no-brainer product. Like, duh, of course you need it. What I do without any product on my scalp at all when my hair is dirty is I'll go through and really work this and massage my scalp, and I'll use this to take any type of debris out and really get all of the product that I pack into my roots, like dry shampoo and hairspray and styling products, out from the root. And then I get into the shower and I use my fingers to wash the rest of that out. So the reason I like this product is because it has rubber tips. Rubber tips won't cause trauma to the scalp. I'm not gonna like tear up my skin. I'm not gonna pull my hair out. It's gentle enough to remove gunk and debris without pulling my hair strands out, which is really important, you guys. We need to save our strands. Also, it really stimulates the follicle from the root and increases blood flow to the surface of your scalp, and that results in hair growth. So people in the Indian culture have been doing this for a long time. They'll take a bunch of oil, they'll massage your scalp, and they'll just really work it in, probably put your hair into a braid afterwards, let that oil soak in. That ancient technique has value, okay? We want to really massage the scalp, we want blood flow coming to the surface, and we want to really baby our follicles so that we can start to grow more hair. I notice that whenever I don't do this, I end up having a lot more buildup. Like I notice I have to wash my hair more often, which I do not like, and I notice that I have to apply more dry shampoo, and it's because I most likely, as disgusting as this sounds, probably left a tiny bit of residue during my last wash and I didn't get everything out. So if you really want to give yourself a good deep clean, nice relaxing scalp massage, this is the product that you need. I got this on Amazon, I believe, but I've seen this at the dollar store as well, so you don't have to spend a lot on it. Just make sure the bristles are rubber. Okay, my favorite thing to do in terms of skincare is exfoliate. There are a million cleansers out there. There's hydrating ones and really gentle exfoliators, and as much as I just hate to admit it, I love a good scrub, okay? I don't mind that it feels a little gritty. To me, that makes me feel like my skin is actually being cleansed, and with the amount of makeup that I wear, I can't afford to leave any ounce of makeup on my face. I need to make sure that when I go in to wash my face that I'm getting every ounce of product off. So I was looking for an exfoliator. I had tried a few before, and I definitely knew a few things. I don't like the jelly bead kind of consistency. I felt like that was leaving a lot of makeup on my skin, and I don't like things that feel like very large sand-like granules, okay? That was just tearing up my skin, and oddly enough, even though you think that would really like do a good job with the deep clean, I still felt like I had makeup on my skin, which is so gross. So I came across this cleanser. I've put it on my Instagram stories, but I'm going to talk about it with you guys because you have got to try this, okay? This ACURE brand is incredible. This is my favorite exfoliator. I don't know where this was. Like, I don't know what I was doing in life until I started using this product. I have to tell you guys about it though. It is an exfoliator that has tiny, tiny, tiny little granules of product in it. So it almost looks like little micro sand, okay? So it's the finest form of like a bead that you can get where you can actually still feel it, but it's not tearing up your skin. It has sea kelp in it, which is actually going to calm your skin, and then clay. Clay is the most natural, gentle cleanser that you can implement on your skin that actually draws impurities to the surface of your skin. So when I use like the bentonite clay and like that's like the Aztec facial powder, and I use products like this or clay masks, what you're doing is you're drawing impurities to the surface so that when you go to wash them off, you're actually treating the skin from like your subdermal layers. When you use products that really just work on the surface of your skin, you are cleansing your face and you are probably getting your makeup off, but you're not actually pulling things to the surface. So the first few weeks, I'm going to be honest, the first about 2 weeks that I used this, I had breakouts, and I knew it's because I'm taking dirt from the surface layer in a mechanical like motion using beads, but I'm also using a clay product that's pulling stuff out. So even though I would scrub my face, put this on, and then wash it off, I knew that even after I washed it off, I've already begun the process of pulling towards the surface, if that makes any sense. So as much as I do love this product, you need to be very careful with your timing of it because it will cause you to break out. Like any good exfoliator, it's going to bring things to the surface. And so I would actually alternate maybe every 2 to 3 days with this so that you're not experiencing a massive breakout at one time, or I would time this out to where you can actually afford to let your skin purge. But this does not have a good smell. It's not like you're at the spa. It smells like a algae, wheatgrass, kale smoothie. It just smells healthy, okay? If you are here for beautiful fragrances and you just want to feel pretty, then go for it. But if you really want to get your skin clean, give this a try. In terms of keeping your skin clean, I feel like I talk quite a bit about products to put on the face, but what are you using to apply those products, okay? This is a no-brainer. They have these everywhere. I've seen them at TJ Maxx in the beauty section, but I got this on Amazon, and it's basically just a rubber spatula that you can use to apply face masks. So for example, instead of using my finger to dip into my Low Recipe watermelon mask, I can actually use this to dip in straight into the product and apply it on my face. The reason I love this is because even in the middle of your facial routine, your hands can still have bacteria that you're transferring onto the skin. Anything that we can do to minimize the transfer of bacteria onto our skin is ideal. But also I love this because I used to use a makeup brush. Like I would buy a specific makeup brush that I would just keep with my beauty products for facials, bleach, whatever. And I felt like that was just one extra step that I was having to do, was to like clean that brush off. This is significantly easier to clean. I can take an alcohol swab, sanitize it, let it dry, use it with different products. I get way more uses out of it, and it's really inexpensive, okay? And also it kind of makes me feel shishi. I just think one little less opportunity for bacteria to, you know, invade our skin is ideal. Okay, so we are talking about cleaning the skin. That includes shrinking your pores. You guys, I got this Blackhead suction machine on Amazon. So this one didn't have a ton of reviews, but I'm actually impressed with it. I will link below this one, but then I'll also link below another one that had more reviews, just so you can kind of get more feedback from other customers on what they felt about it. But I just want to walk you through this. Okay, so it comes with a USB port so you can keep it charged. You turn it on and it gives you the battery life right here. Then you can actually hit this plus sign right here and turn it all the way up to the full speed. I'm going to turn that off because it makes a lot of noise, but then I'll walk you through the different settings that it had. So the machine comes with 4 interchangeable heads. This round one is actually just for overall, basically cleansing. And well, I shouldn't use the word cleansing. It's more so for just like sucking the skin. And so I want to show you how powerful it is. And I'm going to put it on my hand, but basically, it basically sucks the skin, almost like a little vacuum, and you run it over. So depending on how high up you go on the setting, the more suction it's used. Okay, so you can actually see my skin lifting off my hand into this device. This, to be honest, doesn't feel like it's actually cleaning my skin. It almost just feels like it's stimulating my skin, like it's just pulling my skin up a little bit, kind of waking it up and getting blood flow to the surface. I don't feel like this does a great job of like making me feel like it's purified. But then I go in and I check this little foam pad. So this little interchangeable pad, which your set will come with several, will actually catch a lot of gunk. You'll see blackheads, you'll see dirt, you'll see hair, honestly, in this, and you'll actually notice how dirty and saturated this thing gets, and then you'll be like, oh my god, it was actually sucking crap out of my skin. Although it comes with the multiple like settings for the head, like I said, I don't love this large one. I actually love the smaller one. So the smaller one, I feel like I have more control with in tiny areas. So my area of concern, my whole reason for even buying this product is because I felt like my pores on my nostrils were really large, and I could get a facial and I still feel like they were large. They were smaller than what they were before, but they were still visible. And I noticed that I have to put quite a bit of makeup on that area just to really make it feel like it's not visible. This definitely shrinks the size of your pore. Even if it's just temporary, even if I just do it for special events, I don't care. Anything that's gonna make them look smaller is right up my alley. The other oval head is for fine line areas. I don't understand how the shape of this could affect fine lines. To me, the circular ones could do the job, but I just wanted to show you that it does come with this one. And then the last one I wanted to show you has this textured edge. This almost is supposed to be like a microderm machine. I could see that because it is rough, and so you do kind of get like a little debriding as you move this across the skin, but I can't imagine that it's any different than using a scrub or anything else to really get the dead skin off, to be honest. The most important one is the small circular one. I do need to note that I apply tension when I pull. So a lot of reviews online on other machines similar to this, and even when I posted this on Instagram stories, people were like, did it not leave you with like these hickey like marks all over your skin? And yeah, it will if you let it go and pull your skin. The number one thing you need to do is pull your skin taut and put it on a lower setting. If you want a higher setting, definitely just make sure your skin is tighter. I use a pretty high setting right here. I just make sure I pull my nose to the side and make sure that I never have just the machine on my face alone without a second hand really controlling the tension. If you do, you will get circular marks on your skin. It will look like suction marks, and that's not a good look. So, and I would test this on an area, like not on your face. I would do your arm, I would do your leg. I would just kind of figure out how to use the machine first prior to going straight into your face. But aside from all the instructional stuff, I do notice that my makeup sits better when I have done this. Do I see crap on that little filter? Yes. I don't think it's significant. I was expecting to see this filter to turn like black or gray or something. I wanted to see a lot of stuff. As gross as that is, it's super gratifying to see that little filter filled with crap that was coming out of your face, but I didn't. I do know that my skin does feel good when I do it though, and anything that's gonna like pull blood to the surface of my skin, make me look more plump and youthful, that's gonna decrease the presence of fine lines, and it's also gonna make your makeup sit better. So I think for less than like $20 or $30, it's totally worth it. Okay, and the last product I'm gonna talk about, but I'm not actually gonna show you my actual one because I think it's gross. I'm just gonna pop an image right here, is a tongue scraper. I did an entire blog post on why it is super important to scrape your tongue. I'm going to link that below, but I'm just going to give you the cliff notes while we're here. I feel like you could do the most amazing makeup look and open your mouth and you have bad oral hygiene. And that doesn't just mean brushing your teeth, it means taking care of your tongue. Your tongue is a hotbed of bacteria, okay? Think about your tongue as a petri dish that just grows things throughout the day or overnight or in between meals. And if you don't cater to your tongue the way you do your teeth, you are going to fester bacteria, and then you're going to eat things and drink things and you're going to swallow that bacteria and introduce it into your gut. So the reason I'm super passionate about tongue health is because society kind of teaches you, like, wake up in the morning, you can have your first cup of coffee, and it's really okay if you brush your teeth before or after, and it doesn't really matter. No, this is exactly what you need to do. Wake up in the morning, scrape your tongue down, okay? You need to use a non-alloyed metal. You need to use one that has flexible arms so that you don't gag, and you need to start at the back of your tongue and then gently use a few strokes and push all that gunk to the surface. When you brush your tongue and you see that gunk come to the surface, it looks like a white foamy film, almost like a cream. It's absolutely disgusting. That is called ama. So ama in Ayurvedic medicine, which is like ancient Indian medicine, whether you believe it or not, does hold some truth, because that gunk has bacteria that just grew overnight and maybe from that previous day if you didn't brush your teeth before you went to bed, and you want to get that off. Then you want to go in and brush your teeth, mechanically remove all the crap on your teeth, and then you want to go back in. This is super important, that third step, scrape your tongue again, because now you've released all this gunk and bacteria and dirt off of your teeth onto your tongue, and now it's sitting there. So you need to really get that off your tongue again. This will increase oral hygiene. It will aerate your palate on your tongue so that when you go to eat and drink, you taste things and enjoy things a lot more on a deeper level. And then it also releases a sensation to your brain that helps you feel more full so you don't overeat later, okay? If that doesn't make you want to sign up for tongue scraping, I don't know what will, okay? Anything that's going to help me feel more full is a game changer. There's other benefits as well, like it helps reduce like the recession of your gums if you're worried about that, and I mean just a million benefits. But the most important thing that I personally feel is that we don't really care for our tongues the way we do our teeth, but it's everything. If you open your mouth and you've got this gorgeous lipstick on and your breath smells and your tongue's white, like gross. I mean, let's just get ahead of all that and let's make sure that we're taking care of our gut as well. So let's scrape that morning gunk off, brush our teeth, scrape again, and you're good to go. Okay, and that is it for my very long but informative detox cleansing holistic type of video that I'm doing. I love beauty and I love makeup, but it's also super important for me to be able to show you things that don't involve applying products to make you feel pretty and actually like treating the problem. So if you have any questions, definitely comment below. If you have not, please subscribe to this channel. I want to grow a community where we can just talk about makeup, beauty, fashion, wellness, and all things in between. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.